I think we're gonna move into our last set of games. Who is that?
So this is Khrane
Mm-hmm.
from your team
All right,
against Fox, from a new addition to the league. I think he was added just like last week, maybe.
got it. Do you have any experience watching any of Fox's games? Because I'm not aware of that player.
No, I haven't seen any games from Fox yet. I don't know what level they're at.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm looking forward to
I
the
have
game.
seen Khrane. I believe we saw Khrane do a PVZ previous week. Don't remember who that was against, but
Yeah. So since I don't know the skill level of Crane's opponent, this might. I mean, I'm just gonna call it right now. This might be a severe mismatch in skill, because I'm pretty confident Crane is one of the best B teamers in the entire league.
yeah, I would agree. Like it was against Bayu on my team. Yeah, he did really well in that PVZ. He knew what he was doing at all times, basically. Like
Yeah,
a
very
few little
nice.
things here and there to clean up, but overall he had solid game.
Yeah, Crane is one of my
So
favorite players to watch. Not just because he's my teammate, but I think he's a very solid player. He doesn't really go for sneaky, weird cheeses. He plays very standard, very solid. Tries to react to what his opponent is doing, and it's pretty interesting to watch. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, Snipe.
yeah, let's see how Crane does this week.
All right.
So spawning here on the left as the Tan Terran, we have kakaonib,
I think that's just cacao nib, right?
kakaonib,
Yeah,
kakao, okay,
yeah.
kakaonib. Also known as Fox, I would assume. And then over on the other side of the map, we have very nice green Protoss. Great.
Mm, very
I'm
solid
not good
color.
in rumor. Just some mind games coming out already, or we'll see.
I mean, it's scientifically proven, Snipe. You know, purple Protoss loses more. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah,
I'm pretty high for me. Yeah, we can even see Khrane talking about how he's got pretty high skill for a B teamer.
yeah, for
So
sure.
see how this goes.
Hmm.
Um, I would expect to see Khrane do some sort of aggressive opening, being a stronger B teamer. I think he would know like the features of this map being a low ground base for Terran, easy to abuse the high ground. Maybe something like a 10-15 gate would be good here. We'll have to see what he does. Uh, Still some nice friendly chatter going on in the game, complimenting his opponent.
Yeah, very manner. I like it. I like it very much. And it seems so far. Oh, is this? No, never mind. There's Depot. So overall, pretty standard openings from both our players. Just from the positioning of the barracks, it seems like Terran won't be going for like a rack CC or anything like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Generally, if a Terran is going for a racks into a fast command center, they'll be building it um, up by the command center that they'll be taking.
So taking their gas, we'll probably see something standing like an FT or a siege expand or something like
Yeah, and Terran's going
Protoss.
for a pretty fast scout as well.
Protoss looking pretty standard too. First gateway's up, starting to mine their gas, of course, making, so everything looking standard so far.
Yeah, so generally, I think in most PvT games, we're really going to be seeing the same thing for the first 3 minutes, right? A gateway, a core, you know, Terran's probably going to be building a factory at some point. It's really, I think, in the next few minutes where the game sort of diversifies. Because what happens after the core? Does the Protoss build, DTs? Do they go for Robo, expansions, Mascoon? And, Terran also has that option. After the first factory, maybe they go for two fact push. Maybe they go for starport and do dropship style. Um, so it'll
And
be
we'll have
interesting
to
to see
see
what they do.
what both players opt for. Don't mind drop ships on this map because of that droppable natural. It's definitely a strong option for Terran on this map.
The droppable natural, yeah. So I think, yeah. What snipe? Let me see if I can show that. But if the Terran were to go for fast drops, they could drop siege tanks here on this area and totally deny mining from the Protoss, which is pretty busted. And it reminds me a lot of, I think, the Lost Temple maps, and even Talcross, where Terrans can just drop on this ledge and really make Protosses sad.
Yeah, and I mean, Protosses should, I mean, a good Protoss will be aware of that too, and just get like a shuttle out sooner, so maybe they open like some kind of a Reaver play.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, generally on maps like that, yeah, it'd be really good to kind of preemptively go for that shuttle. So even if your opponent didn't go for that drop, you can still make use of your shuttle, right? Like, yeah, Reaver drop the opponent.
Yeah, exactly. So we see Khrane's got his Dragoons out. I like, he's positioning them out here, so if there is an FT or something coming, he'll be able to micro it back. Looks like he's going to push up with them, see the Marines, and just back out. Okay.
Yeah, I like what he's doing. So, I mean, though he didn't do any real damage to the Marines, he isn't really being punished or anything like that. He's only taking shield damage, and that will recover in no time at all. So,
good. Also note, Terrence scouting the Protoss again, which is good. I mean, he sees that there's a Nexus up now.
This is crazy. Check this out, Snipe. So he walked around to the high ground and he's sniping off these Marines.
Oh, they're like on hold position, so he just got a couple free there.
That was really nice. Yeah, so he killed, I think, 2 Marines just completely for free.
Yeah.
Really nice. Really, really nice. He didn't even take any real damage from the goons either, so that's...
With this 3rd Dragoon out, he could continue to pressure this too. Like, there's only one tank out. He could kill the tank Marines and put on some more pressure.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he's going to do that. But I mean, that's fine too. Their 2nd tank's out now, so it'll be considerably harder. Looks like he's just going for some standard play. He's, like we mentioned in our other PvT we saw on this map, he is actually getting 3 gateways and his Robo plus Obs up. So, unlike the first PvT we saw.
Yeah, and I do want to point out too, I kind of liked what Khrane did there, because it shows he has strong knowledge of the map. He tried to attack up that ramp, noticed that Marines were blocking, so what does he do? He walks around and he starts sniping a few. And he even snipes the SCV. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, I think he had a chance to snipe this tank here as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't go for it though.
And one of those goons could have got killed too, so.
Yeah, he backs off, which I like. He's being safe. He's kind of
neither
dipping
player
in.
losing any hits.
It's pretty cool.
We got the SCV just getting killed now in Protoss's base, so he should know exactly what's going on. No, there's nothing scary, it's just standard stuff.
Yeah, and I completely agree with how Khrane's playing this. If you're confident in how you're playing, just play safe, just play standard. Build your gateways on time, get your observatory, get your observers quick, and that gives you the freedom of... Oh, wait.
I got an attack coming across it.
Moving on across the map.
I'm not sure about this. Like, he saw the 3 gateway in Protoss's base. So I'm not sure what he's trying to do with this. At this point, it's like, it's not going to kill the Protoss, and you're just going to throw away some tanks and stuff for free. It looks like he's realizing that now and pulling it back. I'm not sure about moving out to begin with.
Okay, so...
saw 3 gateways. So.
How I see this situation, I like that he was aggressive early. I really do. The only issue I have with that, he went out as his factory was like 80% done or something. So at this point, if you're going to spend your resources to make a factory, why not wait until the factory has produced some units before you attacked, right?
Yeah, if you wanted to put on some pressure, wait until you had the 2nd, 3rd factory up or whatever. That little push out, I think, was not really at a good time, because the Protoss has 3 gateways. He's going to be able to kill your army pretty easily.
He wasn't able to take advantage of the extra production capability of that extra factory. But it was also nice control by Khrane. He kind of balanced out the damage on his Dragoons. So, he was able to pull back the damaged ones and keep them alive for longer than they should have, I guess.
And we see Khrane taking his 3rd base now at this mineral. Same positions and same base as we saw the other one. The other PvT.
So I guess maybe this might be the ideal 3rd on this map. I'm not too sure. I guess if the Protoss can control the ramp, right?
Yeah.
They can kind of stop the Terran from pushing further than this point.
Because like if you're playing correctly, and we see Khrane has an obs here around that ramp, you can see when Terran is coming down this ramp. And if you have some Dragoons or something, you can just stall the Terran or kill them as they're trying to get down this ramp. So, and if Terran's aware of that, they'll have to go the long way around anyway, down that big ramp and around the bridge to get over to your base.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't mind this third base at all, really. I take this one when I get these positions.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wouldn't take that fourth base that we saw Vic 7 take. From here, I would expand where these vultures are placing mines now for Fox.
Right, that makes sense.
That would be my fourth base.
And I like what Khrane is doing. He has, a good amount of Dragoons at key locations all around the map. So, there's vultures out on the map ready to harass. But, Khrane is ready to respond.
Yeah. So we see these vultures actually getting in, killing a bunch of probes. That's a bit unfortunate.
Nice.
I mean, he could have had a few more of those Dragoons that are just standing by his natural here to help prevent this. I didn't see how many probes died. It was a fair few.
Yeah, I would say at least 6 or 7 probes died there.
Yeah,
so.
I'd say that was good for Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So if Khrane just had a few more Dragoons there, he could have, prevented a few more of those deaths. But we see he's playing. I mean, he's starting to make some pylon wall too, so he knows about that to stop vulture run by, especially at his natural there. He's got a couple.
Yeah, and we're also seeing Stargate going up and Temple Archives tech as well. So looks like the standard transition into Arbiter, I would say, from Khrane, which I think is cool. I think it'll be pretty good to go for recalls on this map, because say the Arbiter goes and tries to recall the third from this sort of angle, or he can go from for a recall in the main as well. I think there's a pretty good amount of options that Protoss has in terms of trying to get a recall off.
For sure. We can see he actually has more Dragoons over there now to help prevent a run by. He's up to 6 gateways. The Arbiter Tribunal's coming down now. I mean, he's playing well. No surprise there.
His tech is coming out at a pretty solid time. Something I'd like to see from him, maybe having a quicker fourth base. Yeah, because I mean, the way the Terran's playing now, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factories, and it looks like he's not going to be pushing out anytime soon. So that gives the Protoss a lot of time. It looks like the Terran's going to be going for a later timing, so take advantage of that. If the Terran's going to be defensive, as a Protoss player, maybe start looking to take more of the map. Yeah, because if you wait too late and the Terran army kind of pushes out, you don't have as much time. So.
And the Terran just got his first vessel out, so I'm pretty sure they're aware. Arbs are on the way or on the table here.
Okay. Interestingly enough, a dropship is being built from the starport. So at this point in time, it might be a little late to be going for that tactic that we discussed earlier. But drops in the main, trying to drop in the third, that might work.
I mean, at this point, Protoss doesn't have any shuttles, I can see. So, I mean, a drop up there could still be pretty effective on that little cliff there. I would have liked to see a shuttle, even if, like, the Terran, or this droppable area wasn't here. Even if, like, the Terran never dropped up here, I'd still like to see at least a shuttle here. You can load 4 Zealots into the shuttle, and when Terran pushes out, use it for Zealot bombs.
I just caught it. So remember that dropship that was being built?
Yeah.
Or maybe not the same one, but Khrane had some sick awareness, and he was able to snipe a dropship that was, I guess, rallied or something. That was really, really good. I don't know if there was anything in there. Oh my goodness.
Fine.
So despite having similar APMs, there's a really big difference in supply right now. We're looking at 184 for our Protoss and about 110 for the Terran. So, oh my goodness. If the Terran starts to push out now, that might be pretty rough. He's in for a world of hurt.
We do see Terrans trying to get up a 4th base here now. And Protoss is doing the same, though. Protoss is getting it at this kind of open low ground there.
Yeah.
I know we discussed about this before, about taking this one. Not a big fan, but...
Yeah, I mean, why not take this base? It's in a position where you're able to wall it off much easier against vulture harass, and it's farther away from the Terran's pushback.
And it's not like on this low ground where if Terran gets control of the middle of the map, they easily take it out.
Yeah, and it looks like Khrane, his macro is really on point. He has been able to basically max out, and Terran.
Oh, another dropship coming in.
Oh, how did it?
Oh
my
3
goodness.
HP. 3 HP.
Are
I got
you
past.
joking?
Oh wait, Dragoons.
No!
He got it. Oh, okay, that was close. I was like, no way that gets in with 3 HP. Like,
I would be so mad as Khrane. I would be so mad. Like, you see it, you're so close to killing it, but it still drops anyway.
Yeah. Was that a nice little pick off there? Could have killed a lot of probes if it got in. So he's actually got a few Dragoons in his base now, just in case. Waiting in case there's another drop coming.
Okay,
right,
so it looks like
going here now.
Yeah, Terran moved all of their units below the ramp, so they have no tanks on the high ground anymore. Oh my goodness.
I would have liked to see a few tanks on that high ground still sieged up, but I mean, Protoss is way ahead in supply. It looks like he's just running through.
That was such a nice attack. Khrane might have gotten a bit lucky. He decided to attack as soon as Terran moved all his tanks down the ramp. But yeah, it was a really nice engage. The Zealots kind of ran in and got up close and personal with the tanks, and the Goons were in the back doing damage.
I also like what he did. I don't know if you noticed, like, he pulled back after all his Zealots died. That's a good thing to do. Like, if you have just Dragoons left and there's still a bunch of tanks that you aren't going to just, like, easily kill. He might have been able to in this spot. But if you run out of Zealots and you're just on Dragoons, there's a bunch of tanks, the Dragoons are generally just going to die, trade very inefficiently. So, you know, just kind of want to get out of there when you run out of Zealots, and we see Khrane did that. So, playing very well. Like, very well played by Khrane.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, honestly, he's doing this better than I do, right? Because for me, I'm more of like a 1A, 2A, 3A, and if I lose, I lose. But yeah, it's really good. Khrane did the proper thing, because as you said, Dragoons, they cost more money, and they take longer times to build, I think. So when you're in a macro situation, and you're attacking, and you're macroing up armies, you want to be making Zealots, only because they build faster, and they kind of arrive to the scene quicker. So it's important for a Protoss, you keep your Dragoons alive as long as possible, and you're reinforcing only with Zealots. That makes it the most efficient, for sure.
And, I mean, we can see Khrane do that. He's got a whole bunch of Zealots just coming out of his gateways now. Going in for another attack. He's got a pretty good angle, like, he's got a good arc of units. A couple of Zealots getting on top of the tanks, the stasis.
That was actually a really cool maneuver. I don't know if you noticed tonight, but normally speaking, when a Protoss kind of tries to stasis, they kind of just run in and stasis the first clump of whatever they see, right? But he actually walked in some Zealots that were invis, cleared out all the mines, and then he kind of picked a choicier clump of units to stasis.
Oh, and we got the GG.
Yeah, so really well played by Khrane. He was a little fancy there at the end. I liked it quite a bit. Yeah, really.
That puts him up 1-0. 1-0 for another Team Beast member.
Yeah, so it looks like a 5-0 sweep for Team Beast so far.
Well, let's see if someone can stop this. Maybe Fox has got something up. Like, I liked his play. He didn't look too bad. He had the right ideas. I mean, Khrane just out macroed him, but I mean, Fox didn't look. I mean, he looked solid. He looked like he knew how to play the game, how to play the matchup. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no offense to the Terran player, because I think he also did play well. It's just Khrane just played a really, really, really strong, solid macro game.
Yeah, like Khrane could be an A-teamer probably. So, we've talked about that before. All right, let's get into game number 2 here. See, maybe Fox can do something. Take a game off Khrane here. Stop this Team Beast sweep here.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't count the walkover, which I don't want to, Team Beast has been undefeated tonight. So,
yeah,
we are looking really, really strong.
All right, so let's see here. On the left-hand side, we have the Brown Terran, Fox. He's currently down 1-0 to the blue Protoss on the right-hand side of the map here. Khrane.
Yeah, and Snipe, I propose we call him Cacao or kakaonib this game, just because he's brown. It's perfect, man.
You want to call him Kaka? Okay.
Not Kaka. Yes. Well, that's brown too.
Kaka. Okay.
Oh man.
I'll try and remember that. So it'd be interesting to see like if either of these players opt to go for taking advantage of the back base. We saw the last PvT on this map, neither player did go for that quick back base. The Terran kind of did, but he built his CC like way out front and then floated it across his base.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're casting these games after the fact, so I do feel comfortable sharing this. But for preparation this week, I do remember Khrane asking our coach about, standard strategies. I think Khrane, what he decided to do was like a pretty fast 3-base carrier build. So I'm looking forward to see what he actually does in game. I'm expecting him to go carries as well, just like we saw earlier with Pick 7.
Alright. We see he's going for a gateway gas first, so not going for a 12 next build.
Ooh, okay, so I might be crazy, but I think this orientation of your depot and barracks is not zealot type. So, if Khrane had decided to do some sort of really fast zealot pressure, or even worse, like a proxy 2-gate, this would not help at all. I mean, worst case scenario, I guess he could throw down a depot immediately if he saw zealots coming. That would be a good response. But the way it is now, it's vulnerable.
It's pretty close to the mineral line too. Like, I mean, I guess a Marine could kind of get back in there. Maybe the SCVs could help kill the Zealot or block for the Marine. Could be useful, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like both players scouting each other right now. Terran sees pretty standard stuff. Just a gas, core finishing. None of the players are going for anything sort of blatantly crazy or wild.
So we showed there's like no early Nexus play here, or the Protoss will see no early CC play, just standard stuff coming out of both players.
Yeah, we have the core spinning as well, so I will assume, yes, it is Dragoon Range. Because sometimes, as a Protoss player, if you want to cheese your opponent, you don't go for range, you go for air weapons or air armor, and you build like a citadel somewhere out on the map. So that is an option cheesier Protoss can do, which I'm not condoning, but the options are there.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like both players managed to effectively either kill the scouting probe or force it out of the base.
Yeah, I like what Fox is doing here, hiding. Kaka is doing with his SCV here, hiding it, so he can go and scout the Protoss later. Kind of see, like, is he getting more tech? Is he getting a fast expo up? What is he doing? You want to see? Like,
yeah, so
you want to know ahead of time.
Something you want to be doing, if you can do this, try to have an SCV at some point scout the Protoss natural at about 4 minutes. So if this SCV were to come back, you can see that there is a Nexus, and you can assume, Protoss took an expansion and they're playing pretty standard. But if your SCV comes back and there is no Nexus at around 4 minutes, you can safely assume that Protoss is probably going for some sort of tech build. In this case, this map is not the best case scenario because it's possible the Protoss took his back natural. But in other maps, that logic does apply.
But I mean, if you do send the SCV like we saw Fox do just now, he saw that Nexus was there, so he does know like there's nothing cheesy, no tech coming up. He knows he's getting the net. So he's probably playing pretty standard. And I mean, we can see he's putting up his 3 gates again. He's getting his robo up. So pretty much exactly what we saw last game from both players here.
Yeah.
like this little Dragoon trying to maybe deny the CC. He did force it back, but now he should get out of there right away. Okay. Yeah.
It does take some unnecessary damage.
It's unfortunate, but he didn't lose any. That's the main thing. As long as he doesn't. Oh no, I don't know if I should be pushing up knowing the tanks are there.
I like that. That's pretty ballsy. So,
it is pretty.
I mean, siege is done. The siege tanks, but Khrane is kind of weaving in and out, trying to get free hits on some of these Marines.
And if he can delay the CC at all, I mean, it's good for Protoss, right? Just kind of slow the Terran down a little bit.
Yeah. So
Get
something
ahead.
that I'm hoping to see more, which I haven't necessarily. Players kind of take the back natural a little bit faster. Once this this natural here is secured, I mean, the players can really take.
Oh,
Goodness.
losing a couple Dragoons here. Lost one anyway.
Yeah, so kakaonib actually is pushing out with his small force of Terran units. Got some free kills. I'm not sure how far he's going to be willing to push this. There are reinforcements coming from the Protoss. If Terran overextends, he might be losing some really, really valuable tanks. I'm not sure if I agree with this.
Oh, and I like Khrane's positioning here. He's taking the high ground, knowing that he'll trade more
Oh
efficiently.
my goodness. That was really nice control by Khrane. He sniped 2 tanks immediately. Oh man.
And he's gonna get the third. Yep.
He kills the mine. Oh no. Okay, so that was excellent control by Khrane. Yeah, he microed that pretty well. He took an unnecessary mine hit at the end, but really nice of him to abuse this high ground position, snipe the tanks as they're coming in. Nice control.
Yeah.
And he's
As a
taking
Terran, I think he went a bit too far because like, the Protoss is gonna be able to reinforce. And if he does take that high ground position like we saw there, you're just gonna trade inefficiently if you're trying attacking up to it like we just saw. So I would have liked the Terran to maybe push back after the Dragoons kind of got scared away from his side of the map.
Yeah, that was a rough position.
We do see a fast starport here coming out of Terran.
Yeah. So something I want to point out that happened in the previous game, Kakao also went for drops later on in the game, but they were kind of scouted by our Protoss player and they were stopped pretty convincingly. I think 2 dropships were sniped throughout the course of that game. So I'd be surprised if kakaonib went for drops again, since last time they worked out so terribly for him.
Yeah, I mean this is a decent map for drops too. Like you can drop into that back base and kill a bunch of probes and stuff. Like because Protoss generally isn't going to have his whole army out there. It's going to be at the natural, so it's going to have to come quite a ways to even defend or protect it.
Yeah, for sure. So Khrane had his wall at the nat blocked as well, so he was able to deny this vulture harass. It didn't stop Kakao from taking a probe. So
what Kakao could have done though is what we've mentioned in previous games on this map.
Oh my goodness!
Gone around and gone into the natural from that other side.
He must have had a bad rally at some point. There was a tank in the middle of the map, and he just died for free.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Probably, yeah, like you said, probably just a bad rally.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I think Khrane is in a really solid looking position. He was able to keep Terran's tank count so low. He stopped the first push, got the free tank just now, and he's comfortably on 3 bases while teching. So let's see if he's going to go for any... he has a Forge. I don't see a Citadel or Stargate of any sort yet. So that tech is a bit slow. I'd like to see it come out a little earlier for him.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting his 3rd base. He's getting his 3rd gas up. So I would expect to see some tech going up. Terran just scanned, like, top right. But he missed, like, the base. I think he was trying to see if Khrane had a 4th base up there.
Yeah.
But where he scanned, didn't even see the minerals or anything. So a bit unfortunate with that scan.
Yeah, so it seems, especially when we're talking about the B-teamers in CPL, map familiarity can be one of the biggest issues. And I do understand that we're still pretty early on in the season, so it's understandable that some of these maps, especially the weirder non-ladder maps, they can be a bit unfamiliar. But do try your best to know the basics of the map. Know where normal expansions are, know the best ones for you to take relative to your opponent. These types of decisions, regardless of whatever map you're playing, it can really help really help your game and how it flows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. Also, I do notice Khrane is getting +1 air weapons, and the Terran actually just scouted the cybercore spinning. So if he noticed that, he should realize that that means carriers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
You already have your good range.
any Terran that sees a spinning cyber core past like 6 minutes, you definitely know, that can't be good range. So it's got to be some type of air weapon.
So yeah, he should be expecting that he's going carriers.
Yeah, so an
We'll
armory.
see if he reacts to that.
Yeah, armory's up. It's been spinning. The attack upgrade has been. Oh wait, what?
Oh, Terran's going for 4 bases.
Yeah, it looks like some type of drop happened at the.
Oh, okay.
The third.
I like nice moves. I mean, he's denying mining there. He's gonna if he didn't see the if he didn't notice the spinning cybercore, he did see that gateway or Stargate, sorry, producing units. So something air is coming.
Oh man.
The drop did pretty well.
Yeah, even if it didn't get a lot of probes, it still delays mining for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, and we can see Khrane's supply block too. So.
Nice.
And meanwhile, Terran's taking like 2 bases at once here.
Yeah, that is crazy greedy, man.
But I mean, if the Protoss doesn't scout it, it could pay off. So we got Terran actually up a base. We only have 1 carrier building, even though we have 3 Stargates. Interceptor upgrade is also building. +1 is almost done. +1 air weapons, I should say, is almost. But he's still not using the other 2 Stargates.
Okay, so I guess I do like what the Terran's doing. So not only is he being super aggressive in terms of expanding, he is being super aggressive with his units. I mean, by constantly harassing, constantly dropping. Yeah, this is
what we said earlier about blocking that with a couple of pylons or something too. The Terran could just run in there with some vultures. I mean, Terran's playing really well.
I don't know though. At that point, he's kind of throwing away units for free.
I mean, vultures are pretty cheap, and killing probes is good.
Yeah, I guess. But in this situation, where he's kind of chosen, I'm not going to build units yet. I'm going to build a bunch of SCVs and go for a big strong econ. Throwing away units like that, I'm not sure if I agree with. It might have been better to just drop like, a tank somewhere around here, or run in and poke his head in. And if he sees units, kind of run out and save his units, because he is down 60 supply. If the Protoss decides to attack at any point, I don't think he's going to be able to hold. The Terran can't hold this.
Also, I do want to point out, like, Terran definitely saw the Stargate, and he should have seen the Cybercore spinning, but we still don't see any Goliaths made. And we see him, like, he rushed to science vessels. So I'm assuming he didn't see the Cybercore spinning or didn't realize that that meant carriers, and is just assuming that it's arbiters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he didn't pay attention to the core spinning. And I wanted to sort of show the vision of the map and go over this a bit, but I don't like the siege tank positioning, because I feel like he's, he might as well move up further and kind of camp on this ledge, like control the high ground. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I guess it's not too bad, because the Protoss, unless they have vision, they have to go up the upper ramp as well to engage this army. It just seems like, he can move a bit further up and abuse this little nook.
Yeah, we can see the Protoss is doing the same. He's got like his army actually on the ramp. So if Terran were to attack into it, he has the high ground advantage. Both players playing very aware of that fact.
For the first time this series, we've seen a player take the proper 4th base. Congrats, Khrane. He wins.
The Terran did too.
Oh yeah, he did. So good job, kakaonib. He actually wins the award first. Very nice.
And
okay. There's gonna be a pretty big attack going right now. Huge supply lead for the Protoss. What the hell? Oh my god, what is he doing?
I don't know about this. Yeah,
what?
He just lost basically a bunch of units for free. I mean, he's still well ahead in supply and everything, but
Jesus.
He either needed to commit or just not attack into that.
As he was attacking, there's 4 carriers doing a bunch of damage.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're the top left base. Okay, I didn't pay attention to that.
He's also playing playing more aware with these carriers. Like, he's being aggressive with them, which we saw Vic 7 not do on this map.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
this is what
immediately
you
targeting
want to
the
do with
command
those
center.
carriers. Like,
Awesome,
look,
awesome.
there, he just took out the command center. That's what you want to be doing with your carriers, not kind of defending with, being forced to defend with them or anything.
If you check it out, okay, so the
very
Terran
nice
has
play.
been, the Terran feels super pressured, and basically they unsiege their entire army, and they're gonna run right smack dab into this Protoss clump of forces.
And he is just now spamming a bunch of Goliaths too. So I'm gonna say he didn't know about the carriers until they're shown. Even though he should have with the scan.
Yeah, Khrane.
To watch out for.
Khrane is in such a nice spot. He's controlling his carriers on one side. He has access to maybe sniping off the armories. Oh my god, that is huge. Yeah, so if these armories go down at all, it's virtually GG because there's two carriers. Oh my god, two carriers are killing the tanks here.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
up
middle
to
of the map.
6.
Yep. This is
6 carriers or 3 more on the way.
He
He could have sniped that armory. Plus the +1 or +2, I guess, now at this point, or even +3. Yeah, okay, +2 weapons is almost done. He could have killed that, but it's gonna finish. That's okay. I like what he's doing though. He's pushing these tanks back, clearing out these mines on this ridge. He did mine out of his main, and his back natural is getting really low. So I would like to see him get another base up and running here.
Yeah. So something really nice from Khrane. Even though he's not taking too many bases, he's actually going to take the 12 o'clock right now, I believe. But he's really active with his carriers. So we saw he kind of went up to top left and he ninja killed the expansion. And he was able to immediately send his carriers back and deal with the army in the middle of the map. So he's taking full advantage of the fact that carriers are very mobile compared to anything Terran has. It's very refreshing. And his minerals... his spending's been pretty decent as well.
Yeah, we can see. I mean, Terran still hasn't got that back base back up and running, and now he's pressing forward with these carriers again, going to pick off another base.
Yeah. So the top left, which was killed earlier, hasn't even been rebuilt yet, and now Khrane is threatening to kill this this expansion at 7 o'clock as well.
He's way ahead in supply.
Ooh.
Oh, but he's gonna lose some carriers here. Oh, there, he lost one.
Oh my god.
Okay, he's getting out of there now.
Pretty decent micro, and interestingly enough, okay, so really cool. He is sending his Dragoons to come in and fight these Goliaths as well. So it's not just carrier versus Goliath. It's Dragoons. Oh my god, no!
Yeah, that's something we mentioned last game too, or last time on this map, the PvT. Like, you want to have some units to kind of support your carriers, especially if they're going to be out in the open like this.
Yeah,
so I like that he did that. But now he's just kind of sending these zealots in for free and for trainings. Right idea.
I mean, overall, I feel like the situation is kind of stabilized. The carriers did do some damage, but they didn't do anything like, too crippling. So, the Terran was able to sort of respond and macro up a bunch of Goliaths. And they're still on 4 base. And 4 base Terran, they can survive for a pretty long time.
Yeah, they're pretty strong. And, I mean, Protoss still isn't mining from their 5th base. It just finished now, so they should be soon. We can see he's transferring over some probes now. But, I mean, okay, the carriers are moving in to the main.
Okay, so
picking off some of the depots. Let's see what he does.
If this were me, I'd be going straight for the armories, right? Deny the ability for Terran to build Goliaths and deny the upgrades.
Yeah.
The longer Terran has to go without their precious 3/3 upgrades, I mean, the happier Protoss is. So
looks like he's gonna take out a factory.
Okay, something worth noting here.
Not terrible.
He can really abuse the SimCity. The way Terran built their factories.
Oh no!
Oh
okay.
my god!
Oh, is he gonna lose? Oh, 1 carrier, 13 health.
Very nice. He has
So close. Oh, he's so close to there. He picked off 1 carrier. Yeah, I mean, this is why carriers are so good on this map.
I like what the Terrans
There's a lot of little places they can go.
Every time the Protoss has been aggressive with the carriers, Terran has basically unsieged their entire army. They're like, okay, if you attack me with your carriers, I'm gonna be countering you.
Yeah.
And it's pretty effective. I like it.
Yeah. He's trying to force him to use his carriers to defend bases rather than using them to attack into his own base. And, I mean, that's a good play.
He's focusing the carriers too, which is so critical.
Yeah, looks like he got another one down, and there's another one.
Yeah, honestly, this Terran, kakaonib, is playing really, really well. He's being aggressive. He's forcing the carriers to kind of sort of have to either counterattack or just deal with the Terran army, and he's expanding behind it too.
Yeah, and he's actually gonna deny this base while extending. Looks like Khrane is gonna see the Terran expansion and kill it.
Oh,
And he killed
unfortunate.
Terran's back base. There's just things going on everywhere, but he's also killing Protoss's base. So that's gonna put Protoss back on only 2 bases that are actually mining, and actually only 1. If you look at Protoss natural, he only has 2 probes mining minerals there.
This is the Vic 7 thing again. The players are so busy transferring their probes.
And now Protoss is actually going to lose his only base that's really giving him income, and he's going to lose all the probes there too.
Man.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
this
one thing I can say about this game, Snipe, both of these players don't like to defend very much. I mean, literally, they've both decided, okay, I'm going to kill all your stuff, and they're essentially like, they're kind of base trading almost. But the thing is, Terran kills buildings really fast. And he's already pulling back his army to deal with these carriers at the 4th base.
Now, Khrane has what, 3... Oh, he's 3-6 carriers on the map? And that's basically all he has for army. I mean, he's got some Dragoons, but look, they're all stuck in his main. What is going on there? The Dragoons are like bugging out.
Terran is up 40 supply. So, you know, if you ask me, there is no... Oh my goodness, there is no way Protoss should win this game.
Yeah, look at Protoss's main by his ramp. All those Dragoons just stuck, bugged out.
Protoss is not mining anymore. He has 25 minerals, no bases on the map, and he just lost these carriers. Yeah, oh my goodness. Well played by kakaonib. I liked... And I don't want to call it too soon, but I think Terran played this too well. He basically... You know, he chose to respond to the carriers by counterattacking. And he did critical damage. He killed all of Protoss's new, fresh bases.
He's just now getting those Dragoons unstuck. And, I mean, his natural is almost mined out, too. He doesn't have a lot of minerals left there, maybe like 2,000. And Terran's, like, pushing down at him now with a lot of Goliaths. And he has, what, 3 carriers left?
Yeah, and
4,
all
5,
these Dragoons 6. Trying to fight uphill. Not gonna work, not gonna work. Yeah, this was well played by the Terran. kakaonib did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna win this. Like, nothing really Protoss can do here.
Yeah, there's GG. Not much Khrane could do. He was down at the end of the game. He was down like 50 supply with no mining. So
yeah, I mean, it seems like Fox or kakaonib here is a pretty strong B teamer as well.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, they look like different players. Last game, kakaonib was pretty passive and he kind of just waited around and kind of died. But this game, he really showed up.
Yeah, I mean, Protoss did force his hand a little bit with those carriers. Like, okay, I got to go do something with my tanks and tanks and vultures now. I got to get Goliaths out. I mean, he took advantage of it and ran with it. Yeah, I mean, he ended up pulling out the win.
I also might be giving him too much credit, but, you know, it could have been one of those things where it was a knee-jerk reaction. I'm being attacked. What do I do? What do I do? I'll just counter, right? That could have been it, but, you know, no matter what, it worked out for him. So, he was able to break the curse. I think this was the first win for Team Scientology Vessel B team. So it's not a sweep. It's not a shutout. They put 1 on the map. So well done from kakaonib.
And also, for the first time tonight, we're going to get to see the 3rd map of the series.
Awesome.
Which is going to be Circuit Breaker. This is also going to be the last game of the night, so...
Got it. Yeah, let's jump right into it then, Snipe.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Cool. Yeah, generally speaking, the games so far that we've casted tonight have been a bit one-sided. You know, so this is our first 1-1 series so far. So I'm very, very excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, I mean, this could go either way.
Oh, the good luck has to win.
Nice. The good banners, that's always good.
Nice.
All right, so here in the bottom right, who just tied it up 1-1 from Team Scientology Vessel, kakaonib or Fox.
Yes.
And then here in the top left, cross positions on this map, we have the blue Protoss, Khrane.
Yeah, and speaking of cross map positions, I'm expecting, a pretty long macro based game. Circuit Breakers is a pretty large map, and by putting the players on opposite sides, I would expect, unless the players do something crazy, we should be in for a longer macro game.
Yeah, agreed. Something interesting about this map is like in this matchup PvT, depending on where you spawn, some people say it's favored one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So in cross positions like this, it's good for Protoss because they can expand in either direction, and they're still pretty far away from the Terran. But if they're in, like, say they're both on the bottom, if Protoss is going to take that mineral only as their third, they're expanding towards the Terran, and Terran can kind of like push on the bottom part of the map towards the Protoss, so it's easier for Terran to just push along there instead. So it's said it's better for Terran in those kind of spawns. And then vertical is about pretty even because both can expand to the left or right. So just something to know.
Yeah, pretty interesting. So I guess Khrane lucked out, huh? He got a pretty good
cross spawn.
Okay.
I mean, at this level again, things like this don't really come into effect or don't matter as much at these levels. B team or A team, I would say, as much.
And I just noticed, so Khrane lost the last game. He just lost to after going carriers, and he's spamming at like 380 APM. So it looks like Khrane is feeling pretty serious this game.
Yeah.
He's going.
Yeah, he wants to take it. He wants to take it.
Okay.
Yeah. So things are looking pretty standard again, so far for Protoss, and looks like Terran as well. He's still, okay now. Those guys on gas, but he hasn't got up to 100 gas for his factory yet. We'll see if he pulls any off or if he keeps them on for something more aggressive. Both players are scouting around now, trying to see each other. It looks like they both. Well, looks like Terran is going to scout a little bit sooner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But both get there around the same time. We still see 3 guys on gas for Terran, even though he started a factory. I don't know if that means he's going to be looking to do something aggressive like a 2-fact, or if he's just not necessarily aware of being a little bit more efficient. So I think if you're doing like a siege expand or some kind of FD, we will take guys off gas to get a little bit more minerals faster, to get your CC faster. We'll have to see if he does anything with this or not.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or it is possible he was playing on 2-facting or something like that, but he scouted that they were cross position, and maybe he holds off on it.
That's true too.
But yeah,
I'd still like to see him pull a couple guys off gas if you saw that though. But okay, so yeah, might just be he forgot or a little unfamiliar with the build. But I mean, it's not a super big deal either. I'd say just a little thing to help you be a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, and something worth noting, it seems like Khrane is always pretty aggressive with his Dragoon positioning. He always seems to be sending out the first 3 to kind of, I guess, sit under the Terran ramp, which I guess is good. It's, if he can get some damage done, great. But, I don't know, he's not able to really deny any sort of... he can't deny the Terran from scouting him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I like having the Dragoons out here too, like, because if you see an FD or a strong FD or something coming, you have a lot of room to micro back. Whereas if you're keeping your Dragoons at your natural and an FD comes in or a strong FD comes in, you can't really micro back and you're just going to be taking the full force from...
Yeah, so I don't think the Terran will be going for anything crazy like that. He's researching Siege first. So, he's just going to be really safe. Take his expansion, build up some... I would assume build an eBay pretty soon and build up turrets.
Yeah, so we see a siege expand. I mean, he doesn't need turrets right away because he does have this SCV in Protoss's base and is seeing like, okay, there's 3 gateways. The robo's just being put down. He knows Reavers or anything isn't coming right away. If he does scout like a Reaver tech going down or something, then maybe okay, get the engineering bay. But if he threw it down, it would be a bit early, I think.
Oh my gosh. Kakaonib's siege just finished, so these goons should be pushed back pretty soon. Um, could have been a little bit faster on bringing a CC over and transferring as well. A bit inefficient there, but not a huge deal, just something you could have paid attention to.
Okay. So we see him going for an even faster starport this game than the previous two games. Seems this guy favors his dropship play, or maybe he could be getting a Wraith, I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know about the Wraith.
But I doubt it, but you never know. It seems like he likes his starport play anyway, going for some faster tech or dropships, as we've seen them in the first two games.
I guess I like it. He must feel pretty confident in his drop play. From what I remember, the games we saw, the drops weren't that effective. But if that's a strong point, and he's not scared of doing it. Props to him for that.
Well, I mean, game two, he had that one drop at the back base that did pretty well. I mean, denied mining for a while. I didn't see how many probes he got with it. But, I mean, he saw the Stargate too.
Yeah.
So that did pretty well for him. First game, maybe not so much. He could have abused the terrain and droppable areas a little bit more, I think, in the first game.
Yeah, so he's also not making any vultures. He's not upgrading mines, upgrading speed. So it seems like his plan is to just do a siege tank drop.
Yeah, you could, I mean, drop 2 tanks, maybe behind the natural there. I don't see it doing too much. Maybe he's going to start making some vultures now. No. Okay, he's still making tanks, so... Oh! Is the Ob going to... Yeah, okay, the Ob's definitely going to see that starport.
Yeah.
And nice. And it survives too. Yep, so Khrane's getting it. He knows exactly what's going on. He sees the starboard blinking. He's like, okay, drop ships. He sees 2 factories and an armory. He knows exactly what's going on. I like his Ob positioning there, and he's got another Ob out front of his base, so you can see if Terran moves out with anything. Very, very well played. He's playing well.
So I'm not sure if the observer was able to spot that dropship. Yeah, so the dropship did pick up 2 tanks, and it's going to be moving up a weird, sort of unexpected route. Let's see.
Yeah,
Khrane. Goons in the main. Yes, he does have goons in the main.
Yeah, you can see he's well prepared for this drop. He scouted it out. He knows it's coming. He even put a pylon above his 3rd base here to help spot for the dropship coming that way.
Yeah, really nice.
Like, he's making a lot of really good...
These are really smart moves from Khrane. He's kind of taking advantage. So this pylon, it's not just a pylon. It sort of becomes a sort of preemptive warning.
And as you can see, the pylon scouts the dropship. So
very nice. Does he react?
No reaction right away, but I mean he has goons here, and now he reacts.
Nice.
So I mean, Khrane showing that he knows how to play this matchup. He has a pretty good understanding of this matchup. So. Done.
Yeah, so really well done. He was able to completely just shut out the Terran's aggression. And he's even moving goons to the side to snipe the dropship. So smart. Yeah, that's being able to see ahead right there. Sometimes players are just going to be like, oh, the units are here, I'm going to A-move it. But Khrane split up his units because he knew the dropship was going to run, and he cut off that escape option. Really nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, that sets the Terran back. He invested all that money into the dropship and to those 2 tanks and really didn't get anything done with them.
Yeah, and his 3rd is also done as well. So Khrane is looking to be in a pretty good spot economically. The CC just got started for the Terran.
Terran's just doing a 3rd CC and a 4th fact now. So I like Khrane's position better here. I'd say he's ahead.
Yeah, and Khrane is adding gates. I think right now he'll have 7. Pretty decent amount. The standard rule of thumb, if you're a Protoss player and you're able to have observers sitting on top of the Terran factories, you want to have 1.5 gateways for every single factory you see from the Terran. I think that's like the the general rule of thumb. If you see 2 factories, you want to have 3 gateways essentially.
Yeah, you definitely, even if you don't think about it that way, you definitely want to make sure you have more gateways than the Terran has factories. So if you have an observer where like Khrane does here over the factories, and you see, oh, Terran's got 5 factories and I only have 3 gateways. Well, then you're in trouble. Like, you got to throw down some more gateways because his units are going to be able to run over yours if he has better production like that.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in that position as a Protoss player.
Yeah, if you notice that, like, get those gateways down and get those units ready right away, because Terran will be able to take advantage if you're down on gateways for sure.
Yeah, Crane's doing a great job of macroing. He's already, at 10 minutes, 40 seconds. He's at 140 supply. He's going to have up to 10 gateways. So his macro is looking incredibly strong. He's setting himself up for an expansion at the 12 as well. Yeah, no complaints from what I'm seeing so far from the Protoss.
Yeah, adding more gateways, taking another base. Like, no, he's honestly playing really.
Oh. Did we miss anything? Yeah, overall just playing a really solid game. Basically, on macro alone, and being able to effectively scout the Terran dropship and block it, it naturally put him really, really ahead. So as long as he plays safe, techs up appropriately, yeah, he should be in a pretty strong position to take this game.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see him actually losing this unless he takes like some really bad engages. He's just so far ahead at this point. He's macroing really well.
Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out a bit and kind of go over something I think is a bit strange from our Terran player. He wants to take this third base, but for some reason he's moving his army out across the bridge. I don't think that's where you want your tanks to be. The whole point of having these bridges on Circuit Breaker is if you sit behind them with your tanks, it's very difficult for a Protoss army to cross the bridge. But for some reason he's kind of, willingly moving across, and he's giving up this advantage. And having these tanks here, it doesn't protect his third.
Very good point.
Yeah, so
like having them.
Don't agree.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, having them out here like this, it just makes it easier for Protoss to attack into them and kill them. And I mean, we can see like it's 12:30 and Khrane's basically maxed. Like, he's maxed really quickly this game. He's really on top of his macro.
Yeah.
He could honestly just crush, and he's got an observer here to see all these tanks. He could just, move into this, kill it, and end the game right now. Honestly, he's just so far ahead. If these tanks were like behind the bridges and whatever, it'd be harder for Protoss to attack into it and to engage, even though he's like ahead 100 supply at this point.
Yeah. So something interesting. The Terran's wasting pretty much his APM microing these vultures against the Dragoon. So he kills a Dragoon, but look at the supply. He's microing the vultures, but he has 2,000 minerals, and he's at 90 supply. Okay. So something really important that a lot of B teamers, especially in the CPL, need to kind of think about and prioritize is what's the best use of my time? Should you be spending 30 seconds microing these vultures? Or should you kind of let them be AFK and you build 10 more vultures in your gateways? Right? So, in general, especially at lower levels, focusing on SCV production, focusing on making units, focusing on upgrades, those 3 things alone are going to help you improve so much. Khrane has shown... Whoa. So, either... Oh, Snipe, are you back? Is that you? Alright, guys, so it looks like in our last CPL game for the night, we're having a bit of technical difficulties.
I'm getting error. Hello. I just got error 610.
Yo, alright, so it looks like you're back, Snipe?
Yeah, I just got error 610.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we're about to have an attack.
And yeah, he's just got so much here.
Oh, man.
Like, and because the tanks are on the other side of the bridges here.
Exactly, they're on the wrong side of the bridge.
Yep.
Aye.
And he just easily runs over it.
So GG. I'm gonna break tradition. Don't leave it, Snipe. I'm gonna go back. We'll watch the last minute again because we did kind of get distracted by the drop.
Okay.
Oh, does it
Where do you?
work?
How far?
Oh, whoa. Okay, it was just.
What did you want to look at?
It was just really slow, I guess. Are you there, Snipe?
Yeah, I'm here.
That was weird. Okay, I wanted to watch the last minute. So we were talking about how Terran kind of moved across the bridge willingly, and Protoss saw it with the observer, right? So, what does he do? He maxes up, and he goes ham and he crushes this army. So overall, pretty spectacular play from Khrane. I think he played really well. No complaints.
Yeah, I also want to point out, like, his supply is so much further ahead than Terran's and where Terran should be.
Yeah.
If you look at the Terran's base, he's on 6 factories total. He's got 5 in the main and 1 kind of at his natural there, with 2 add-ons. The Protoss has been on 11 gateways for a long time.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why the so the Protoss has just been able to completely outproduce Terran here because Terran's like so low on factories, and he's actually building. Well, he's only building 1 now, but he actually starts another command center. He's about to start now, so he's building 2 more command centers. I don't know what he's planning to do, if he's planning to take 2 bases at once again, something. But he's spending all his money on command centers when he needs like more factories and more units.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess
He should have had his bases up sooner, but yeah.
It might just be, a mismatch. Kakao might not be used to playing Protosses that macro this cleanly, that deny his dropship so well. So something worth noting: this entire series, Khrane has been doing an excellent job of blocking the dropships from Kakao. And yeah, this is just the basic. Too much units coming in, just flooding the Terran.
Yeah, well, I mean, that looked like a pretty solid A-team game from Khrane, honestly. Like, he maxed out at 1230. He was just able to easily crush.
I'm not gonna lie, Khrane has a better PvT than I do, and I'm an A-teamer,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it was solid.
I can see him beating 1700, 1800 MMR players with play like this. It was very clean.
Yeah, it was really well done by Khrane.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Just imagine. I mean, we saw him lose the second game and Fox take it, but I imagine he's just like not as comfortable playing carriers in general.
Mm-hmm.
He might have just gone carriers, mix it up, play it for the map, stay unpredictable. He's just not as strong with them, but like his standard play here was really strong.
Yeah, it's very possible.